before class begins. Students are busy chatting about their miserable lives. The girls gossip about which guys they've cracked open recently, while the boys argue about who has the highest score on Subway Surfers like it's some kind of measuring contest. Meanwhile, our lonely-ass protagonist, Takuya, sits there watching everyone make friends except him. He pulls out his anime-wrapped eraser for emotional support and introduces himself as a first-year otaku who mainly watches anime aimed at girls. His favorite is Glittermon. Think gushing over magical girls, but it gets disturbingly dark, like Berserk had a glittery fever dream. Despite featuring girls in tight, colorful bodysuits, the show blew up in popularity, and he's determined to collect every piece of merch like a virgin on a mission. While he's busy simping over those mythical anime chicks, a blonde bombshell named Kotoko suddenly borrows his eraser. Takuya panics and yells at her to give it back, terrified they'll discover he goons to lowly anime girls. She looks at him like he's brain dead and says she just needs it for a minute. Still, he refuses, clutching it like it's his only source of pussy in this timeline. Kotoko takes a proper look and blurts out, "This looks like Pokemon." Even Stevie Wonder could tell it wasn't, but Takuya corrects her. It's a creature from Glittermon. She admits she's been living under a rock and hasn't heard of it, then asks her friend Kay. In his head, Takuya roasts them both. The baddie who looks like she vacationed in Africa for 7 days without sunscreen, and her TikTok-scrolling friend who's always trying adult shit. Two girls he's convinced would never give a virgin otaku like him the time of day. Kotoko notes the character looks like Pikachu and hands it to Kei. Takuya gets pissed because he's told this bitch a million times. It's not Pokemon, it's Key from Glittermon 4th episode. But Kei finally opens her tuna-scented mouth and casually says Key actually appeared in the 2nd episode. Takuya's jaw hits the floor. What the fuck? Being a touchy gremlin. Kotoko then grabs his furry-looking keychain and asks if it's a Glittermon too. Takuya confirms it, warning her it's sketchy. When she squeezes it, the eyes pop out like Luffy after eating too much meat. She laughs her ass off. Curious, she asks what Glittermon actually is, the one question every smelly virgin otaku lives to answer. Takuya hesitates, thinking the girls will roast his pathetic ass if he starts ranting, but then Kei gets weirdly sweaty. Kotoko asks what's wrong, and Kei suddenly grabs her shoulder, calling her the best friend ever and promising to drag her to the comic store. Kotoko would rather go to the mall for Instagram selfies, but Kei insists the comic store has colorful things she'll like. She claims it's just to pick up the latest high school DxD volume for her sister. Yeah, sure. At lunch, Takuya pauses his daily gooning session to marvel Alexis and checks online. Sure enough, Key really did appear in episode 2. Now he's convinced Kei is a closeted otaku. The thought of the hottest girl in school secretly watching lowly bait anime is wild, but he refuses to believe otherwise. After school, some ugly-ass girls invite Kei to karaoke to sing Die with a Smile, but she rejects them. Takuya sees his chance for motivation. He stares at his gooner eraser and finally musters the courage to approach her. She nearly slams him into the wall. Don't get the wrong idea, she says coldly. Her sister is the Glittermon fan. She only catches glimpses on Cartoon Network. Then she walks off. He apologizes for assuming and shows her a limited edition keychain. Kei's eyes light up like she just saw God's dick. She worships it, gushing over the color variants before quickly blaming it on her sister again. Takuya lets her hold it. She says if it was a cookie, she'd deep-throat it. Realizing she's feral for it, he gives it to her because he has two. She accepts, pretending it's for her sister, while clearly planning to pleasure herself with it later the next morning. Kotoko is bouncing through the hallway like a hyperactive succubus, tapping everyone's shoulder and nearly isekaiing the boys with her cuteness. In class, she borrows his eraser again. This time it has a squirrel instead of yesterday's dragon, and she instantly recognizes it as Squirrely from Glittermon. Takuya is shocked. She says Kei lent her the manga. He lights up and starts ranting about the new JC Staff adaptation like a true degenerate. Realizing he's going full otaku, he stops and apologizes, expecting her to puke. But she's unfazed and tells him to keep going. She even asks about Rocket Man. He excitedly says Elton John before she clarifies it's the Glittermon character. Then she hugs him tight for a glorious second. This idiot thinks she's about to kiss him, but she's just inspecting his eyes, saying they look like Momo's. Later, while scrolling Megan Fox's new BBL photos, Kotoko asks if he has Instagram. He lies, but she snatches his phone and discovers his account is nothing but Rule 34 artists. 8TT turned redder than the substance you woke up covered in every morning as a teenager. Instead of roasting him, she calls him a man of culture. She even suggests he post more selfies. Then she wraps her arms around him again and snaps a picture, her looking delicious, him looking like he got tased in the balls. She tells him to post shit like that more often. The next day, Takuya is sulking like a depressed gooner because his favorite Glitterman character Patch got killed off. He feels empty, like after watching Akame get killed. He wished he could share that pain, but Glitterman is for degenerates like you and him. Then he sees Kei looking depressed too. After hearing simps talk about her, he brushes it off until she suddenly shouts, "Patch," when someone mentions it. Now he's 100% sure. Later, a simp confesses to Kei, saying he's tired of gooning to her and wants her as his girlfriend. She brutally rejects him. When her friends ask about her glowing skin, she almost slips and says Glitterman merch before correcting it to Gucci, but Takuya heard everything. At this point, not even God himself could convince him she isn't a fellow otaku. Just then, one of Kei's disciples points out the beautiful keychain on her bag. Takuya's eyes lock onto it like a virgin spotting panties in the laundry. It's a limited edition pin of Sachiko's magical wand from Glitterman. He blurts out, "That pin is ultra rare like the Aston Martin Valkyrie LM. I almost bought it on Amazon but canceled at the last second because it was too girly even for me." And the fact that Kei has merch on Infinity Stone's level proves she's a die-hard otaku. Before he can finish glazing, Kei appears behind him like Danny Phantom, scaring the shit out of him. "Get that dumb idea out of your head. It was just a gift from my sister." But this otaku punk is about to be a pain in her rice cakes for a while. Takuya brings up how Patch died in the latest Glittermon episode, reopening the same wound he got when Kamina died. He asks if she really doesn't like the show. To his shock, she leans in and whispers, "I'm actually down bad for that tight glittery shit," before quickly correcting it to "my sister is the one who's down bad." At that exact moment, Kotoko slides up looking like she just caught her little brother jerking off to her Instagram highlights. She asks the two of them if they're dating because of how close Kei is standing to Takuya. Kei immediately denies it. "I don't do YouTube couple shit." She then turns to Kotoko with murder in her eyes and demands to know how much she overheard. Kotoko, clueless as ever, has no idea what she's talking about. Kei quickly changes the subject and starts gossiping about the latest Offset and Little TJ drama. Later in class, Takuya realizes he left his textbook at home like a certified NPC. Instead of accepting his fate, he pulls out a completely unrelated book on looks-maxing and prays nobody notices. Of course, the teacher, who looks like he extorts kids for lunch money after school, starts calling on students to read passages. Takuya's soul exits his body, and his heart pounds, like Thanos is about to clap his cheeks in front of the entire Avengers roster. Kotoko leans over to borrow a pen and immediately clocks that he's holding the wrong book. Takuya starts panicking, thinking she's about to snitch and end his academic bloodline. Instead, she raises her hand and tells the mafia boss teacher that she forgot her textbook too. Now he's confused. Instead of throwing him under the bus, she jumped in front of it with him. The teacher tells her to share with someone. A thirsty dude immediately volunteers like he's been edging for this moment his whole life. Kotoko shuts that shit down instantly and says she'll share with Takuya. She slides him her textbook like a secret agent passing contraband and whispers, "I saw you trying to sneak a math book in." And it was hilarious. After school, a bunch of desperate virgin losers try inviting Kotoko and Kei to hang out, while other girls gawk at how hot they are. Watching from the sidelines, Takuya has a painful realization. These girls are playing life on iPhone 30 Pro Max, while he's still stuck on an iPhone 6 with 3% battery and cracked screen. He was coping harder than you degenerate losers, still paying for OnlyFans subscriptions. He decides not to overthink it. Today's a big day. He's buying a limited Glittermon blind box on the way to the store. A lost guy stops him for directions. Because he's a decent human for once, Takuya helps him, making him arrive late. The shop is empty, which makes him happy but also low-key offended. How are people sleeping on peak fiction? As he walks through the aisles, he suddenly spots Kei and Kotoko. Kei is holding a blind box like she just got caught with illegal contraband. She panics and says she's buying it for her little sister, the most recycled lie in anime history. Turns out they ditched the karaoke plans because the guys only wanted to clap cheeks. Kei came for the blind box drop instead, and Kotoko tagged along because her bestie looked excited. Takuya wants to suggest they open them together for better pulls, but he overhears hears them complaining about how annoying the guys in class are. His confidence dies instantly. He's living in the Rick and Morty universe while they're in the Barbie one. But out of nowhere, they grab him and invite him to join. NK says she's hunting for a specific character and is willing to trade. Takuya agrees, internally celebrating like he just beat a final boss with 1 HP left. They sit on some benches and open the blind boxes like it's Christmas morning. By some miracle, Takuya pulls the exact character he wanted. In his head, it's divine karma for helping that random guy earlier. Kotoko pulls the secret rare figure, basically winning the lottery, while Kei gets Patch. Oh fuck, here we go again. Even though it's not the one she wanted, she still shouts how much she loves Patch. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Bye.